This is Sunrise Extra, streaming live on Wave now.
Hey, good morning. October 14th, halfway through the month, and hopefully you already have those Halloween costumes put together, because it might be a scramble.
No.
Well, no, I wear the same thing every year. I'm a giraffe every year.
Because that's the only thing you have in your closet, and it's comfy.
It's warm, yeah.
It's a
you never know what the temperature is going to be, so you might end up having to throw a jacket over your costume. So I'm just always prepared.
That is one way to think about it. And we have, of course, so many Halloween-related events coming up recently, or as we head into the next couple of days for the rest of the week. So just keep in mind the weather and those temperatures for those costumes. But for this morning, everything is quiet. Temperatures in the 40s and the low 50s to start off the day. Still keeping an eye on what's happening towards the bridges and in Spaghetti Junction. Starting to see that first bit of light over the horizon there. Clear skies for everyone this morning. And once we get into the afternoon, we'll see more of that sunshine, highs back into the 70s. While today is quiet, we continue to watch what's happening late Saturday into early Sunday, watching that potential for some strong thunderstorms, some gusty winds. I'll break that down a little bit more in my full forecast. But Rob, in terms of traffic, things are looking pretty good this morning.
Yeah, and we certainly like that as we start our early morning out your Tuesday morning. Things not looking too bad out there. Traffic is pretty light. We have our typical construction spots and a few disabled vehicles that may slow you down, but otherwise no major tie-ups to report at this hour. We're going to keep an eye on things throughout the morning. Meanwhile, your traffic speeds, as they usually should be this time of morning on most of the big metro areas. Send it back over to you guys.
Thank you, Rob. A 28-year-old woman's family is demanding answers after learning a Louisville man indicted in her death is also accused of killing 2 other people. That man is set to be arraigned today. Jeremiah Offit was shot and killed in the Chickasaw neighborhood on August 13th. Offit was a mom to 3 and was pregnant when she was killed. Her unborn child was also killed that night. A grand jury has indicted Deanese Lee in Offit's murder, plus 2 other murders. The first case happened back in July of 2023. Police say Lee shot and killed Moselle Isaac Johnson Jr. in the Park Hill neighborhood. Days after Offit was murdered, police say he also shot and killed his stepfather, Jeremy Thomas, at the Jamestown Apartments in St. Matthews. Offit's family says hearing about the other incidents makes them wonder why he was out walking the streets at all.
It hurts and it makes us feel like the LMPD is not doing their job. There's just no way you can arrest somebody and say they committed 3 murders and they haven't been charged with nothing. It's crazy.
Lee is set to be arraigned in Jefferson Circuit Court this morning. We'll keep you updated on his case right here on Wave.
LMPD is putting out a warning about a group of armed thieves operating in the county. However, they say do not confront them, because if you catch them in the act, just call 911. It comes after a group of armed thieves fired shots at a car owner, too. Now, this is happening all over the city. The crime map for all of Louisville Metro reveals about 300 reported car thefts in the last 30 days. And Patricia Sproul's daughter lives on a street where 3 cars were stolen in 8 days.
And the first thing I do now when I pull up to come to babysit is look for the car. The car wasn't here and I was in panic mode. Everybody's on guard and on watch and just waiting to walk out to the parking lot and your car to be gone.
And there's video right there of them pushing a car out of someone's driveway. LMPD points out the criminals are bold. They're not afraid of being spotted on camera and carry weapons. So if you see them, call 911. And if you know any information, contact police.
A man is dead nearly a month after a September crash in South Louisville. The coroner says Daniel Ingram died over the weekend, but the crash happened back on September 19th. Police tell us it happened on I-65 north at the 124-mile marker near the county line. They tell us a driver crossed over the lanes and hit a worker truck that was on the shoulder with a flat tire. The driver of the car had to be cut from the wreckage. The driver of the truck was not injured. The incident is still under investigation.
Today, state leaders will continue to discuss ways to battle addiction at the Kentucky Opioid Symposium. Many of the organizations there get funding from the Kentucky Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission. Organizers say the meeting allows groups to share work they've been doing with communities across the state and to open up conversations, too, about new ways to fight the opioid crisis.
Also happening today, MSD is having their Clarity Community Meeting tonight. It's an opportunity for those in the community to have conversations about odor management. People can ask questions, share experiences, and get updates on MSD's ongoing and upcoming initiatives to reduce odor. The meeting is tonight from 6 to 7 at MSD's office on West Hill Street. And you can attend in person. You can join virtually on their YouTube channel at Louisville MSD.
Louisville city leaders are working to find new solutions to solve gun violence.
Members of Louisville's Metro Council have launched a series of community meetings to tackle the issue head on. Wave News reporter Rob Wells is here with the details. Rob.
Olivia, last night was the third of 5 such meetings planned this year. The goal is turning conversations from those events into action on the streets. Nearly 200 community members gathered at the Goodwill Center in Louisville. Council members Tammy Hawkins and Ken Herndon's initiative to reduce violence relies on direct connections with concerned citizens. I had a chance to speak with Norman Parker. He's the head of a nonprofit group called Real Alternative Community Empowerment, or RACE for short. He said that the event was a chance for neighbors to voice concerns while offering some potential solutions. And for him, working toward a safer community is personal.
I once was a purpose in the community, right? And so I come from that background, and I know what led me down that road, and I know how I got out. And with me, it was once I had my children, once I had my son, my life starts of the world through his eyes.
And Parker adding that one of his main goals has been and will continue to be intervention with the youth of our community, meeting them basically where they're at in life at that time, then trying to understand some of the issues they face, solutions to problems, instead of resorting to violence. Both Parker and council persons adding that forming neighborhood block watches and bringing back homeowner associations could help to reinforce the saying that if you see something, say something. We'll keep you posted as we learn more about the next meeting. Shannon.
Thank you. JCPS's Board of Education members are expected to address a $188 million budget shortfall at their meeting tonight. The meeting agenda said that board members could approve a new investigation into the root causes and the scope of that budget shortfall. Superintendent Dr. Brian Yearwood says the district plans to cut more than $130 million from next year's budget due to the shortfall. He says most of the cuts would be in the district's central office. If approved, the budget report is expected to take at least 3 months to complete. That board meeting is tonight at 6 at the Van Hoos Education Center. Today, Oldham County school leaders will break ground on new construction at South Oldham High School. The expansion includes a new kitchen, cafeteria, new media center too. District leaders say the added space will be able to handle 500 additional students. That groundbreaking is at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, we are just about 2 weeks into the government shutdown.
Coming up, we'll tell you what leader Mike Johnson is saying about the shutdown now and years ago when President Obama was in office.
And rebuilding and stability. Now the focus between Israel and Hamas after a ceasefire deal. We'll hear from the president about what he is calling now could be his greatest deal. Congress remains deadlocked on a funding plan, and the Senate plans to vote on some type of plan today.
Top House leaders signaled over the weekend that there is virtually no desire for their parties to compromise. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson says the federal government shutdown may become the longest in history. Johnson adds that he won't negotiate with Democrats until they hit pause on their health care demands and reopen the government. As we head into day 14 of the shutdown, the speaker says he's unaware of the details surrounding thousands of federal workers being fired by the Trump administration. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance has warned of painful cuts ahead, even as employee unions sue.
We're barreling toward one of the longest shutdowns in American history unless Democrats drop their partisan demands and pass a clean, no-strings-attached budget to reopen the government and pay our federal workers.
Johnson quoted something said by then President Barack Obama in 2013. President Obama said he wouldn't pay, quote, political ransom in exchange for reopening the government. Johnson says that's how Republicans feel now that the shoe is on the other foot. The 2013 shutdown lasted 16 days and was largely driven by GOP demands about defunding the Affordable Care Act. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory announced that it will cut 10% of its workforce. That's approximately 550 employees. The director of the California lab says the layoffs are not a result of the government shutdown, but part of a broad realignment of its workforce. The cuts will affect positions across the NASA center's technical, business, and support areas. Employees will be notified about their status today.
It all came together just at one little period. It just came together. It's, the greatest deals happen that way. If you do anything about deals, that's all I've done all my life is deals. The greatest deals just sort of happen. And that's what happened right here. And maybe this is going to be the greatest deal of them all.
Rebuilding and stability. That is now the focus as the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas moves forward. President Trump signed the deal along with the Egyptian president and Turkey's president. The deal ended the Israel-Hamas war and developed a long-term vision to rebuild Gaza. The United Nations Children's Aid Organization says it has more than 1,300 trucks of supplies ready to be brought into the city. The deal follows a hostage release from Hamas and 20 Israelis who were taken hostage during the October 7th attacks in 2023 are now home again with their families. Emotional reunions. And then Israel released 1,800 Palestinian prisoners. This bus shows them being returned back. Overall, Israel released 250 Palestinians from Israeli prisons and nearly 1,700 others who were detained in Gaza during the war. President Trump proclaimed the deal as the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
President Donald Trump will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House on Friday. The meeting comes after Trump said he is considering telling Russian President Vladimir Putin that if the war in Ukraine doesn't end, he'll allow shipments of long-range Tomahawk missiles to Kyiv. The missiles would allow Ukraine to penetrate deep into Russian territory. President Trump said he and Zelensky discussed the Tomahawks in 2 phone calls over the weekend.
We're learning new details about how the Pentagon plans to pay U.S. troops during the government shutdown. The Pentagon is moving billions of dollars allocated for research to pay troops. The decision comes after the department discovered $8 billion of unspent research, development, testing, and evaluation funds. The U.S. has more than 1.3 million active duty service members. Troops are expected to get their first paycheck since the start of the government shutdown tomorrow. 7:13 right now, and if you liked Monday's weather, you should be happy today, right?
I loved Monday's weather.
Yeah.
I didn't just like it, I loved it.
Yeah, and it's absolutely been amazing over the past couple of days. The weekend was fantastic. What we had yesterday was fantastic. And now we're just going to keep it going. Now, I've been keeping an eye on these Bullitt County and Breckinridge County cameras, and now even into Adair County, seeing a little bit of that patchy valley fog. Thankfully, it hasn't been incredibly dense this morning. It's mainly in those cooler areas, so in the middle of our valleys, near those bodies of water, and in those more forested areas, because you have a little bit of that evapotranspiration, fun word of the day, from the trees that actually helps to increase that potential for a little bit of that fog in those spots too. So we're going to be watching that here and there. Most of us, though, starting off the day with clear skies. Now, something that we'll continue to keep an eye on, one, high pressure in control of our weather for today, and two, the cold front off towards our west that will arrive in our area tomorrow. We're sitting in the 40s and low 50s, so everybody's off to a comfortable start. Still may need that light jacket, though. It's 49 in Floyd's Knobs. We're seeing 50 in the Shepherdsville, 52 right now in St. Matthews. Over the next 12 hours, returning to the 70s for your highs, keeping all of that sunshine around. Then for tonight with clear skies, going to slide right back down into those 40s and low 50s. So basically, we're just going to copy and paste yesterday's forecast into today. Now for tomorrow, we do have that front moving through. Notice still plenty of sunshine on your Wednesday with highs in the mid to upper 70s. But we see the cool down on Thursday behind that front, with a lot of us stuck in the 60s for highs then. We'll warm up through your Friday and Saturday out ahead of a front that will bring us some much needed rain. We do desperately need the rain at this point, but here's the thing with this front moving through this weekend, it could bring some stronger storms Saturday night into Sunday morning, and this is why the alert day is in place. We're really watching areas along and west of I-65 for the better potential for some of those stronger storms, and then we'll also keep an eye on the wind. As that rain moves out, the wind kicks up, and we are going to keep an eye on those gusty winds even as we head into portions of your Monday. So in terms of the severe risk, mainly still focused in on areas off towards our west, but even as those storms fade, moving into our region for late Saturday into early Sunday, some of those storms may still be on the stronger side initially, hence the alert day that's in place. Now, temperatures do drop behind that front, only seeing highs in the low to mid 60s for next Monday, and then we'll watch some pretty comfortable temperatures lingering through the middle of next week. Ladies.
Thank you. Okay, there's a new haunted house in Hillview. Pretty scary too, but it's also for a good cause.
The haunted house is raising money for Operation Santa. That's a program dedicated to providing Christmas gifts and support to families in need. Wave News reporter Kirsten Foote gives us a look at the Scareview Haunt.
We are making our way through the Scareview Haunted House, and I'm here with Cam Bullock. He's the organizer, and we're actually at a wedding today.
We are.
What do we have going on here? Whose wedding are we at?
Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein are about to be married.
Oh my goodness! So we have a priest and everything, and tell me about some of the audience members too. It's a whole hodgepodge of scary people.
Yes, everyone here at Scareview is completely volunteers. We are all volunteers, and we've actually become one big family here at Scareview.
Wow! And so, what was the idea behind the Scareview Haunted House?
So the city officials reached out to me back in July, wanting to do a haunted house, but they needed someone to actually do it and have the Halloween decorations to do it. I just so happened to do it, and so they gave me the building, and we started building, and we have a haunted house in 5 weeks.
I also think it's amazing because all this stuff right here, you have all these decorations are all yours. You have all these Halloween decorations.
Yes, in this building alone, there's over 150 animatronics.
Wow.
We got fog machines, strobe lights, so we make our scenes very immersive.
And so you're very passionate about the holidays, and you're also helping out a good cause too. It's not just about Halloween, but we're also looking forward to Christmas. Tell me a little bit about the good that's being brought here.
All of our ticket sales go directly back to our community through Operation Santa. So Toys for Tots for Bullitt County kids. So.
Wow. All right, let's go back to the wedding. Let's take a listen in here. What's going on?
Now, you know what we do at the end? You know what we do at weddings? We dance. Stand up. Stand up. Up to dance. Now, do dates. Do dates. Do dates. Do dates. We're gonna do this. Maybe throw it in fire. Throw it in fire. Throw it in fire. Some of you listen.
Yay! Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. Congrats. Where can people find you?
1191 Hillview Boulevard. You can follow us on Facebook at Scareview Haunt.
All right.
We are open every Friday and Saturday. We actually offer a non-scary hour. So lights are on, animatronics are on. Kids and families can walk in for $5 a person. That's 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then our haunted house is 6 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. You definitely don't want to miss this. Reporting in Hillview, Kirsten Foote, Wave News.
Thank you, Kirsten. Oh, still ahead, your chance to win a new home or a new car plus cash and help children from Norton Children's Hospital at the same time.
You can get your raffle ticket right now to win a new home in Norton Commons or a new BMW plus $10,000, all while helping Norton Children's Hospital. And a heads up, that drawing taking place on November 22nd, just about a month away.
Yeah, the money raised from the raffle will go to growth and development at Norton Children's Hospital. And every year, Norton Children's Hospital provides care for 215,000 children, including this little girl you're about to meet. 2-year-old Lily Newcomb loves her stuffed dog Duncan, just like the real one. She spent time with at Norton Children's Hospital after she had open heart surgery in January of this year.
Just an amazing journey, and she's handled it so well.
Lily was 16 months old when her pediatrician noticed a heart murmur and sent her to a cardiologist.
Found out, I guess, 2 months after that appointment-ish that Lily had a hole in her heart. That she was born with, and we didn't know until 18 months old, really, that she had this condition.
She just acted so normal that entire year and a half before we heard anything about it. She would be really tired in the evenings, and it was like, well, that was probably the sign that we had missed.
I mean, a lot of times we catch these in teenagers. So, I mean, it is something that if it's as big as Lily's, obviously it needed to be closed.
That meant she needed open heart surgery. It took just 30 minutes, but it was so hard for Lauren and Paul to see their only child after the surgery. They tried to remember what the nurses and doctors told them.
It's going to be a lot harder on you than it is on her because she's never going to remember this part of her life.
Just a few days after surgery, Lily was walking around.
All she wanted to do was go to the playroom, and there was a little mini shopping cart. And so she was grabbing the cart and putting stuff in it, walking around.
Now her heart is fixed. She only needs to see her cardiologist every 6 months to a year.
It's great. I mean, this is the whole reason to do it, is to watch them grow up and then move on.
But I think what I learned through this is it's okay to be scared, but also knowing you're in the right place and in the right hands, especially at Norton Children's Hospital, gave us a lot of confidence. So we're just really grateful that we were in the right place for her.
She's so sweet. You can get that $100 raffle ticket by Wednesday. If you do that, you could win groceries for an entire year. That drawing is going to take place October 24th on Wave. And if you want to see this house in person in Norton Commons, it's so pretty. It is open on the weekends for you to check out. And we have a link where you can get those raffle tickets on this story on wave3.com.
We'll be right back.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
Good morning, I'm Shannon Kogan. Today, a man charged in connection to a road rage shooting that left a Louisville girl partially paralyzed is expected to learn his punishment. Jonathan Rivera is scheduled to be sentenced at 9:30 this morning. He pleaded guilty to wanton endangerment charges. Police say he and two other people started shooting at each other after a road rage incident on I-65 in 2023. And during that shooting, 6-year-old Onyx Sands was hit and paralyzed. Let's go to meteorologist Tawana Andrew and a kind of a repeat of yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about plenty of sunshine, comfortable conditions once again in our forecast. This is the beginning of the sunrise right now. This is absolutely gorgeous on our SkyTrack camera in New Albany, looking off towards the east, seeing that light reflected in the Ohio River. Absolutely picturesque. Now, some of you are dealing with a little bit of some patchy fog, so we'll keep an eye on that, especially near those bodies of water, those little bit more of those forested areas. So keep that in mind if you're traveling through those spots. But overall, it's for today, it's all about high pressure in full control. We're sitting in the 40s and low 50s to start off the day. We'll end up in the 70s for later on this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. For tomorrow, keeping things basically like what we're seeing for today. But the difference with your Wednesday that we'll add in a front moving through that will cool us down for Thursday, and then temperatures rebound just in time for the weekend. We still are watching that potential for some stronger storms Saturday night into Sunday morning, and that is why an alert day is in place. Rob.
Okay, Tawana, thanks so much. We appreciate it. And keeping an eye on your traffic this morning, we do see one area of concern that may slow you down. If you're heading out this morning, keep an eye on, this is 265 East near Smyrna Parkway. Reports of a one-car crash just before 7 o'clock this morning. Emergency responders are out there, so certainly slow down that area. Otherwise, looking pretty good on your morning commute. We'll send it back to New York for now.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope your day is off to a good start. Hopefully that coffee is nice and warm for you. And maybe your second cup of coffee if you're like Rob Wells. I just found out he drinks 4 cups of coffee every morning and he even drinks one before he goes to sleep, which I don't quite understand. But hey, whatever works for him, right? Well, we want to start off with an impressive work by our investigative team, finding that 3 sisters want accountability after they say their dad's short stay in a Southern Indiana nursing home ended in his death. Though the nursing home doesn't deny making a mistake, the State Department of Health stopped short of saying significant errors made by nurses is to blame. Wave News troubleshooter Alina Noakes spoke with the sisters about their search for answers.
48 hours. Walked in on his own. Dressed himself that morning. Does his own bath. Feeds himself. 48 hours later, he's in a coma.
On June 17th, Carol Perkins moved into the waters of Clifty Falls. Perkins' health conditions just a bit too much for an at-home caregiver to take on. He was diagnosed with dementia and diabetes, and the Bay of Pigs veteran had been receiving care at the VA hospital. In stable condition when he was released, just a long list of medications. One of those, insulin. 5 units to be administered at bedtime. But if his glucose was less than 70, he was to receive hypoglycemia protocol. That number, 70, is one you'll want to remember.
Oh, he managed it well.
So the idea of something diabetic related as a complication to his health wouldn't have necessarily been a worry of yours going into a nursing home?
No.
The day after his 85th birthday, his daughters drove up for a visit. Perkins had been at the waters for less than 48 hours.
He was awake for a few minutes, but he really wasn't. You could tell he was exhausted.
He was tired.
You saw that he was not himself.
They asked a nurse if he'd been given anything to make him act so tired. Carol says a nurse claimed her dad was tired from moving into his new home. The girls left him to rest, and when they got back, their dad was snoring in bed.
Okay, he's sleeping really good. I mean, that's what you think. You see somebody snoring, they're in a good sleep.
But he wasn't asleep. He was in a coma, one he would never wake up from.
Now I have to face every day that I should have pushed that nurse to go check on him. I said, I'm shaking him. I'm yelling his name. He's not hard to wake up. Are you sure he hasn't had any medicines? And now I live every day thinking that, I should have pushed her instead of listening to her. I should have been more aggressive and said, come check on him. Maybe things would have turned out different.
Perkins was rushed to a hospital with a blood sugar level of 58. 23 days later, on July 11th, he was taken off the ventilator, keeping him alive. An autopsy report lists his cause of death as acute encephalopathy and pneumonia, contributed to by severe hypoglycemia and severe dementia. According to the American Diabetes Association, severe hypoglycemia or low blood sugar is an emergency for a diabetic. It can be caused by too much insulin, and it can be fatal. Encephalopathy or a brain injury can also be caused by hypoglycemia.
It's negligent. It's, to me, they neglected to fulfill their end of the deal.
I have to live with this every single day. I've never lived my life without him, and now they took it from me.
Those are strong accusations from a grieving daughter, but this is why she makes them. The Indiana Department of Health determined Perkins had been given too much insulin on a medication order the facility staff got wrong. Instead of 5 units of insulin at bedtime, Perkins was given 70 units. That number, 70, apparently coming from the blood sugar level noted for when nursing staff should not administer insulin and instead follow hypoglycemia protocol. In an interview with health officials, the nurse who put in the original order said he had been working a lot of night shifts, and the only rational thing he could think of was that he saw the 70 and put the order in wrong. He didn't know why another nurse didn't catch it, but it was caught by a different nurse who told the health department she questioned the order but gave Perkins the meds anyway, because that was what the order was written for. The facility also didn't follow their own protocol requiring 2 nurses check medication orders for accuracy. The director of nursing reported that due to working night shifts, the chart review had been missed.
I don't want this to happen to somebody else. You shouldn't lose your parent, your loved one. Even if it's a friend, you shouldn't lose it to the mistakes that were made there. Daddy should still be here with us.
But while the state found the waters failed to prevent a significant medication error, they say they couldn't establish that was the primary factor to Perkins' death. Again, the waters says no residents were harmed by their mistake. Ultimately, the waters penalty is a self-audit over a 6-month period. Perkins' daughters say that's not enough.
Why would somebody have to tell them they have to do that? They should already be doing that. If they would have done that, then my dad would be alive.
We reached out to the Waters for comment. A spokesperson told us, quote, "We are reinforcing staff education, reviewing procedures, and adding layers of oversight to ensure accuracy in every step of care delivery. Following the state's review of this incident, although no harm was found, we reinforced our procedures to further minimize the chance of any error," end quote. They emphasized their highest priority is safety and well-being. A judge will soon decide whether a woman accused of killing and dismembering her mother is competent to stand trial. Police say Torlena Fields stabbed her mother to death last October in Robertson County and then dismembered her body. She's facing a number of charges, including murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence. A competency hearing was expected yesterday, but that was pushed back. Her attorney says there is still a long list of things contributing to the delay, including having a fill-in judge right now.
When you're trying to corral different professionals together for a hearing at the same time, you have to deal with a lot of people's schedules. Scheduling stuff going forward will probably make more sense once we have the actual judge who will be the trial judge.
At the competency hearing, a judge will decide if Fields is fit to stand trial. The hearing for that is scheduled for October 27th in Harrison County. Today, a man charged in connection to a road rage shooting that left a Louisville girl paralyzed is expected to learn his punishment. Jonathan Rivera is scheduled to be sentenced at 9:30 this morning. Rivera pleaded guilty to wanton endangerment charges. Police say he and two other people started shooting at each other after a road rage incident on I-65 back in 2023. During that shooting, 6-year-old Onyx Sands was shot and paralyzed. As part of the plea deal, Rivera has agreed to testify against the two other people charged in the case, Edward Sark and Shelby Bizconnor. Police say it was a shot from Sark that hit Onyx. Trial for Sark and Bizconnor is scheduled to start in February. New this morning, doctors will soon have another tool to help rule out whether a person has developed Alzheimer's disease. The Food and Drug Administration okayed another blood test that could help determine whether someone has the disease. The test is geared towards adults 55 and older who are showing signs of cognitive decline. It works by testing for high levels of protein known to be associated with Alzheimer's. It's the second blood test the FDA has approved to help detect Alzheimer's disease. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Well, if you've ever been scared passing a big rig, turns out it's for a good reason. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data shows that more than 5,000 people are killed every year in crashes with large trucks, and that problem is only getting worse. Our national investigative team discovered a big blind spot in the regulations.
pumping the brakes, turning the wheel. Nothing works. What's pushing this car sideways? An 80,000-pound tractor trailer. Let's rewind to the beginning. The video and police reports show the truck driver started changing lanes and likely never saw the car until it was too late. It's happening across the nation.
A deadly fiery pileup. Oh my. Come on, let's get out! The car plowing into the side of the tractor trailer smashed in an instant, hubcap sent spinning. A car collides with an 18-wheeler bursting into flames.
In 1 out of every 3 big rig crashes, the truck driver never saw it coming because the car was in the blind spot. Driving next to a tractor trailer, you may not realize you could be completely hidden from the trucker's view in one of 4 major blind spots. There's even a blind spot right in front of the rig, a blind spot big enough to conceal an entire SUV. To the driver behind the wheel of a big rig, this SUV might as well be invisible.
That car can disappear and the driver never see them.
Keith Copeland is Vice President of Safety for the Bennett family of trucking companies.
At Bennett, what we do, we require the fender mirrors and we're requiring the MaxView side mirror here.
MaxView is a simple solution, a tiny mirror mounted on both sides of the cab behind the doors.
It's a mirror bouncing off another mirror. The driver, because of the door frame, may not be able to see me, but as he looks in the side mirror and the reflection of the MaxView mirror, he can see me clearly utilizing both mirrors.
Seeing is really believing, so we're putting you behind the wheel of a big rig to make the decision. Are we clear to change lanes on the right? Take a look again from the outside. That's a red Mustang in our blind spot. Now let's look again with all the mirrors. We can actually see the Mustang in the fender mirrors, in the overhead mirror, and in the MaxView mirror. None of those mirrors is required by the federal government. Other than those side mirrors, everything is optional.
That's right. The side mirrors are required by the Federal Motor Carrier Association or Administration. All the other mirrors that we use are options.
Many rigs have curved wide-angle mirrors on the hood or front fenders, but because those are not required by regulation, some trucks don't have them at all. And that means the driver of the truck inches from you and your family may not be able to see you. Most crashes would tend to happen in this spot right here.
In this area right here.
The right side of a truck from the front wheel back is the most dangerous spot.
And so this car basically disappears in this area.
What should I do to make sure I'm not going to be in the blind spot of a truck?
Don't hang out next to the truck. So if you're on the right side or the driver's side, don't hang out there. Get in a position whether you move a lane over, move up front, move back so that you can see the driver in the mirrors and so the driver can see you.
If you can't see the driver in the mirrors, they can't see you, especially directly behind the trailer. A problem that's easy to see, but for all drivers, a hidden danger.
Well, some exciting news for passengers who fly United Airlines. They're now rolling out a Starlink satellite system, which means you'll soon be able to connect to the internet with high-speed Wi-Fi, just like you do at home. The service is out on all of its planes, starting with the regional planes and then adding to the main aircrafts like a 737 Boeing aircraft. The tech experts say there are 2 satellite antennas on the roof, and if you have frequent flyer accounts, it'll be free for you. Experts add that although you'll be able to stream work at altitude, they ask that you refrain from actually talking on your phone, maybe your Teams calls or Zoom calls while you're at that high altitude because there's so many people around. With the government shutdown, One Team Kentucky Resources helping federal workers who have been furloughed and are about to miss their first full paychecks. It's called the Team Kentucky Federal Employee Resource Site. Displaced federal employees can access the portal. The website was created in April to help federal employees amid widespread layoffs. It offers a list of resources, including career counselors, virtual career fairs, job openings, and links to unemployment benefits. For those in need of filing unemployment benefits, they have a site that offers a direct link to the portal where you can apply. A science lab in Massachusetts is taking skincare out of this world quite literally with the help from NASA. They're exploring how space-age science could revolutionize your daily skincare. Priscilla Casper explains how.
In here. Come inside this Worcester lab creating the next generation of skincare with powerful ingredients.
We were working on creating compounds or leveraging novel organisms to understand longevity, how things age, how things can survive extreme conditions. This is probably
President and co-founder Kyle Landry leads Delaviv Sciences, which partners with government space agencies like NASA and collects novel organisms from all over the world.
some come from 5,000 feet underground, some come from the International Space Station, others come from landfills, oil rigs, all around the world in extreme environments.
What are we walking into?
So this is our cold room, and this is one of the specific or special rooms we have. In this case here, we're actually purifying and separating those components. So on the column right now, you can see this dark band. This is an extract from a novel fungus. And then you can go right to the extreme next door. After you can see it's a lot warmer here. It's around 125, 128 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's an organism that grows only in these conditions.
He says these organisms can survive and thrive in extreme temperatures, low pH, and UV radiation.
Our first patented ingredient is called Bacillus lysate, and this comes from research aboard the International Space Station.
This out-of-this-world ingredient is an antioxidant that helps protect the skin from sun damage, boost the skin's natural moisture, and fight signs of aging.
NASA sent it up to the International Space Station, put it outside for 18 months, and when they brought it back down, it survived. And not only did it survive, but it can survive under UV radiation.
It's used in their age-defying serum, eye cream, and sculpting cream.
There we go.
Delaviv Sciences just launched its newest products, Layer 1, a clarifying cleanser and toner made with its next patent ingredient, hydraulic enzyme complex.
It's very moisturizing.
Which reduces excess skin oil, unclogs pores.
Oh my gosh.
And improves skin elasticity.
And this is a unique mixture of proteins that target the buildup of organic material on your face. Not only does it remove organic material that builds up, it breaks down sebum, which is the oil on your face. It helps unplug the pores, and it controls your skin microbiome for the good.
Well, I am all for improving skincare. Excited to see what they come up with there. The Tennessee Titans have fired their head coach, Brian Callahan. He was hired back in 2024. In a season and a half that he was the head coach, the Titans went just 4-19. Not good. The team currently has just one win in 6 games this season. Senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy will take over as the interim head coach. He was previously the head coach of the San Diego Chargers from 2013 to 2016. The Titans president of football operations said the focus is on giving McCoy every chance possible to prove that he can be the next head coach. Tonight, there will be a top 20 matchup in college soccer as the 20th ranked Hoosiers travel to Lexington to take on the 19th ranked Wildcats. Kentucky will look to return in the win column after the Hoosiers against the Hoosiers following a 4-1 loss against 17th ranked Marshall on Friday night. And that was their first loss of the 2025 season. Indiana travels to Lexington coming off a 4-1 win over Ohio State in Bloomington last week. And if you want to catch the game, maybe take a road trip to Lexington. Good news, admission to all the 2025 Kentucky home soccer matches is free. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And if you don't want to make the road trip, it'll be streamed on ESPN+. Some U of L students are looking to make a difference on campus and across the community. Cards come together as an annual day of service across the city. Students, faculty, and staff help complete projects on and off campus. Some of the volunteer efforts include helping to pack shoes to send to developing countries and planting flowers along city streets.
Our thing is going out and giving more attention to those areas that are doing a lot of positive things in the community so that we're able to get that message out to people. And so more people can see what our community has and what our community is doing.
They did all of this yesterday. Awesome work to see them out there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thanks for staying with us here on Sunrise Extra. Registration is still open for this year's More Than Pink Walk for Breast Cancer Research. Every year, the Susan G. Komen organization hosts the event to raise money for those affected by breast cancer. The walk is set for Saturday, October 25th at Slugger Field. This year's goal is to raise more than $180,000, and you can register right now as an individual or as a team by visiting komen.org. There's some Halloween fun to look forward to this weekend. Halloween in Brown Park is happening this Saturday in St. Matthews. It's free and has plenty of activities for kids of all ages. They have trick-or-treating, hay rides, games, and live music. Again, that's at Brown Park, and it goes from 11 o'clock until 3. And for the adults, Steins on Main is back for its third year of Oktoberfest. The event is happening this Saturday from 2 to 7 at Repurposed on Main Street. It's to celebrate Louisville's rich German heritage. The free outdoor celebration will include German-inspired food, games and contests, live polka music, and of course, they've got to have beers, and they have that from 20 local breweries. And new this year, you can get $20 vouchers for Uber rides so you can make it home safely. An awesome deal that they have there. That's all the time we have here for Wave Sunrise Extra. Hope you have a great Tuesday.